Yeah, buddy. All right, so we're back outside for another video because we're going back into the whole wild foraging type aspect of things and why it's important to know exactly what is available in your area. And there is one plant that I know is prevalent pretty much all over the United States. I mean, I live in the desert in the middle of the city. I mean, my ground is concrete here. And, well, let me go ahead and flip you around here. But as you can see, pretty much a concrete slab, right? But we have these holes dug here. And I do plan on putting some trees in these front ones here. Plan on putting a pecan tree here. Then over here, a different pecan tree. That's going to come into the whole gardening aspect of everything. And then over here, we have these 4 holes that are pretty much put here just for trees. And I plan on putting some pomegranates in these holes here. But that's not what we're here to talk about today. So, when it comes to foraging and understanding what's in your area, you have to really look and pay attention to things. Now, as you can see, these leaves right here, okay? These leaves are very easily identifiable. Now, before long, there's going to be hollow stalks growing up out of this with brilliant yellow flowers on it that eventually, when they go to seed, they're like little parachuters, right? They throw their seeds everywhere. That's right. These are dandelions. And I know these things are everywhere, right? We had them when I lived up north in northern Arizona. We have them here in the middle of the desert in Texas. We had a lot more of them in Arizona because it was, a lot better area. But those are dandelions. And those right there, they're a very good source of food. And then if you look over here, in this one, there's some others growing up over in here, some small patches here and there. So over on this side over here, we've got some growing right there. So it's good to know what you have in your area. And to do that, you got to get outside. You got to get away from the couch. And you have to look and you have to realize, what do I have? What are my natural resources in the environment? And granted, we're going to plant stuff because that's what we do, right? When we're preparing, we plant food, we get it, we get it in the ground. And I think that, this slab here is going to be perfect to put in some trees. And then, we want to put a room up here in the front, but we want to put some trees in here. And then I know last year I was talking about that cider there that's got these essentially weed bushes that we're going to take out, and I plan on putting in some berries over there, something that'll grow here in the desert. Yeah, it's gonna require some water, but I have an idea on how to do an underground irrigation system so that the roots dig deeper and are actually able to get the water. But it's good to know what's in your area so that, and the leaves don't taste bad. It's not like you're like, ugh, ugh, ugh. So they're a little bit bitter. They're young, but dandelion is great. I'm not sure exactly what nutritional value it actually has. I'll look that up and I'll put that in the video. But dandelion is good, and usually it grows where you have bad soil though, because it puts nutrients into the ground for you. But I do know that. And the roots, if you get like the really big, once they're a huge dandelion, you get the roots out, you dry the roots, you can grind the roots up, and it'll make like a coffee. It's not caffeinated, of course. You're not going to get the caffeine out of it, but you can brew it into like a tea or coffee type substance that's actually pretty good. So, yeah. So that's why it's so important that you get outside, identify what plants are in your area, know what they are, know how to identify them, and know what you can and can't eat from them. So I know that with the dandelion, you can eat the leaves, you can eat the flowers before they go to seed. Pretty much every part of the dandelion is pretty much edible, including the root. There are some other plants out here that are edible that we're going to go investigate. I'm going to do some videos on that. But like I said, it's important knowledge to know, because if stuff happens, you need to be able to find what you can. Now, granted, with the small amount of real estate that I have here that's actually grow worthy, there's not going to be enough dandelions here to sustain, a family like mine. I've got like 6 people to feed, including myself. So there's no way that I could sustain them on the little bits of dandelion that are here. However, knowing that dandelion does grow in this area, you just got to find locations where there's, of course, it does require water, but that's why you have to get out there and look. And you need to scour your areas, look in your, look in your surrounding areas, know what you have, know where it is, and then that way you can pinpoint, you can locate what you need, what you have, where to go to forage it, and the best times to forage, because certain plants are going to be forage worthy at different times of the year. And that's another thing that's important, is to know when to go and find the food, because as soon as this dries out, the dandelions are going to die. They're just going to swivel up. Now, if there's constant water, then they'll grow. Like when I had a lawn at my last place and I kept it watered real good because I wasn't paying for water yet. When I kept it watered real good, I had dandelions all over the yard. So, to be honest, had we needed it, my daughter and I, because there was just the 2 of us at the time, my daughter and I, we could have probably made a couple nights of big salads out of the amount of dandelions that grew in my yard, because it seemed like I was growing dandelions and not grass. But yeah, so just it's good to know to get out there and find out what you have in your area. So, and like I said, I know that I can find dandelion here. I know that I can find acorns here. The acorns are a little bit rougher because a lot of the businesses destroy their trees, for whatever reason, so people can see the building that is completely visible from the roads, but whatever. But yeah, so you got to get out there, and there's some other things right here in my yard that we're going to be investigating and finding out, because I know that I have other edible plants growing right here, and we're going to investigate those. Now, some of them right now, they're not in their edible stages. The parts that are edible aren't visible yet, but we're going to get there throughout the course of this year, because just to show you that if you get out there and you actually look, you can find what you need to survive.